Hey everybody, welcome back to Unapologetic Voices. This is Thomas Tripp, joined by the beautiful core host. Nope.
Core host?
I like it. Keep it in. Go.
Kyle Elio Torres.
Co-host. Thanks so much for joining us on this week's episode of Unapologetic Voices. Take it away.
Take it away?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll start it off.
I've been here for an hour and 40 minutes waiting to start this podcast while you talk to your fucking boyfriend about your new show.
Hey.
Do you want to put that in?
No. We'll plug that a little in.
All right, we'll plug that a little later.
You can yell later.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, save
All right,
that
cool.
energy.
Let me calm down.
Okay.
Let me have a sip of my coffee.
Okay.
I'm going to calm down.
Okay.
If the logo is shown on accident, not a sponsor.
Oh, okay. So
Right.
really quick. Now that a good amount of time has passed.
Okay.
And one of the most recent things that we did was I wanted to conclude the whole like grandma saga, right? Because
What the fuck are we talking about?
let me continue.
Oh, got it.
Right?
I'm with you.
Because like, what was it? Like fucking 3 things ago, I said like, I didn't really want to talk too much about my grandma
Right.
and all that bullshit,
Mhm.
right? Because she passed away. But I just wanted to say overall that I went to her funeral, and the funeral was very lovely.
Nice.
It wasn't a big place,
Mhm.
but there was a lot of people who actually showed up for her.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And because my first and only thought was my grandma pretty much outlived all of her friends.
Yeah.
And most of her friends that she had, like, they either went senile and don't know who she is anymore, or they're dead, right? So she doesn't have friends who are coming to her funeral. And I was wrong. She actually had some people show up. Apparently, my mom, I don't want to say forced her, but probably made her go to like the church and all that, and like communicate and commune with other people and stuff, because my mom is on like this weird thing where like, she goes to this church now. She's not super religious, but she does like the thought of religion and all that, so she does go to church. And
She likes the thought of religion.
I don't know, I can't really speak fully on her behalf.
Okay.
She could be a true believer, but
Okay.
the way my family talks, there's no way I believe it.
I gotcha. Yeah.
But we went there, or like I went there, and it was funny because I didn't realize until it was kind of too late, right? But I got home, I grabbed some clothes really quick, threw it on, put a hoodie on really quick, drove all the way over there. I made it not at the start, but like towards the middle of like, when people go up and they say their stories about her and all that shit, right? To where like my brother was up there talking his stories about how he knew her as a child and all that shit, right? And it was really nice listening to all these different stories about my grandma and like all the nice things that they were saying about her, but they also added in we all had our problems with her.
That's great.
That's
like, how it's real.
Yeah. Like they all, like every single person who went up there said she used to cuss me out, but she loved me,
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, everybody was saying that shit. And like I was saying in the last podcast, well, not last one, but the previous one that I spoke about my grandma, my uncle went up and he also told like her story. He made it sound really like profound and like elegant, and like I'm trying to think of like all the like classy words. Like he made my grandma sound like a fucking goddess, like, because like I mentioned, she pretty much just decided one day that she's going to take her kids to the US and risk killing everybody, because no one believed that those planes would let people go. And she just said, fuck it, we're gonna do this. I'm gonna get my kids, we're gonna go to the US, we're gonna live a better life, right? So she did do that, and it was the way that I wish I recorded it, because the way that he explained the story was so fucking cool that he made my grandma sound way more of a badass than I knew my grandma. Because when I finally met my grandma, I knew her in her like decrepit age, right? Where she didn't move around as much. She never beat me or anything, right? Like my brother told me stories about how he'd get his ass beat by her all the time. I'm like, she never laid a hand on me. But like, that's just the thought, right? Like everybody has their own different stories. And like I thought to myself, I was like, what story could I say about my grandma if I walked up there, right? And the only thing that kept coming to mind was that I never had a problem with my grandma. Like everybody in my family has a story where they got cussed out by her or cussed her out, right? And just yelled at her about crazy shit or whatever bullshit that's happening at the time, right? Like my cousin Leo, right? Notorious for just cussing her out and her cussing him out about random shit. Now they loved each other, obviously, right? But for me, it was never like she never cussed me out. She never would like it's kind of bland for me, because it's one of those like if my grandma asked me to do something, I just fucking did it, like I never hesitated. Now, if it was something I couldn't do, I would tell her, I don't know how to do that, sorry, and she would just be like, whatever, she'd get over it. Like her favorite fucking thing to say whenever I would see her, because every time I'd see her, I'd come in, give her a hug, give her a kiss on the cheek, because as I got older, in my head, I'm like, I don't know when you're gonna die, but I want you to know I love you, So, what ended up happening after that, she like every time she'd be like, hey, make me coffee, but she'd be like, tráeme café, and I'd be like, I'll walk over and I'll be like, let me see where it is, and then I'm like, there is no coffee, and she'd be like, make it, and then I'd be like, I don't know how to make coffee, and she'd be like, bah, you're full of shit, and I'd be like, I don't drink coffee, and she's like, okay, whatever, but then like that's the extent that she does to me, right? That's her yelling at me. My sister says there's no coffee, she'll be like, make it, and my sister says no, bitch, go fucking make it, like she'd yell at her, and I think that's like the funniest thing, that like my relationship with her was just so PG, like we never yell at each other. I just do what the fuck she asked.
Well, that's nice.
Simple, right? Really, really simple thing. But like, the way that I like look at it though, it's like, I guess I could have yelled at her more. Maybe fist fight her a little bit.
No.
Okay.
No. I think it's great that you had a nice, smooth relationship with your grandmother.
100%.
I think you were the shining star of her.
Oh, I was not her favorite.
No, but at least she never had
if I had to fall on the roster,
okay,
I was literally the middle child.
All right.
And like the middle child that like after you had like 7 children, you don't ever notice that one because it doesn't matter anymore.
Okay.
So like the only ones she like truly remembered are the ones she had the biggest fights with and the ones that she loved the most. Right? Not saying she didn't remember who I was.
Sure.
But, whatever. Like in her passing, like when we went to see her in the hospital, when she went the first time, I went there and said, hey, do you remember who I am? She's like, nope. I was like, do you remember this guy? She looked right at my brother and she's like, yes, it's my son, Mikael. And I'm like, fuck you, grandma.
Nice.
But I didn't really give a fuck. I'm like, oh, she's senile and old, I don't give a fuck. But after like a few minutes, she like remembered who the fuck I am after I started talking, But yeah, that was just a side note. I wanted to say that the funeral was very beautiful. I could not take off my hoodie because I didn't realize what shirt I put on. And I'm not wearing the shirt right now. Did
you put on the Rick and Morty shirt?
No, I put on a shirt. So have you ever watched the show? It's on Netflix, not sponsored. Disenchanted.
Yeah, it's made by the Simpsons guy.
The guy who did Futurama and all that, yeah.
The Simpsons guy.
Yeah, but it's more based on Futurama style.
Well, yeah, it's a
I don't give a fuck
fantasy
if it's a
show.
Simpson guy.
No, I'm just giving you a hard time.
Okay.
What about it, bitch?
So there's a character called Lucy. He's like this little devil character.
Yeah, I recall.
Yeah, well, I had a shirt that said "See you in hell," and I couldn't take that off while at the church because it was just, you know, bad taste to have at the funeral for your grandma, you know.
So you didn't wear like a dress shirt?
So the thing is,
because when you said hoodie, it surprised me.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I came straight home from work and I just switched my clothes real quick, and like I guess I could have just went in my work clothes because I had dress pants and a button up. But you know, I didn't care. I just wanted to be comfortable, so I just quickly grabbed a quick shirt, pants, and then went straight there. And then, because if I had waited any longer, I would have like missed majority of it. You know,
I gotcha.
Like Courtney, she showed up literally right as it was over. Like she just got off work and then made it.
Well, at least you make it, you know.
Yeah, and then I got to see one of my friends. No, I was about to say Alfredo. Oh yeah, it is Alfredo. But I got to see him, and he was really cool. He came in like an actual suit and looked really nice. I'm like, man, you dressed really nice for this occasion. And he's like, yeah, it's your grandma's funeral. And I was like, yeah, me and my hoodie, you know. But you know, there was a bunch of people there. Not everybody wore like fancy dress clothes. Like my brother, he just wore his normal like a plaid shirt with fucking pants, you know. We all had varying outfits, but he came really dressed. And then, you know, we got to talking, and I was like, you know, it'd be cool to hang out again. And then me and him went rock climbing that you just so happened to get sick and canceled on me for. And it was a great time just rock climbing.
Why'd you say it with malice?
Because I wanted to hang out with you. Dude, you don't know how much I talked you up to my friend for me to be like, for him to come to me and be like, hey, where's your buddy? And then I was like, don't worry about him. He's just a fucking punk bitch who doesn't know how to show up. And he was like, oh, okay. And then we just did our thing, you know? But I talked way too good about you. And, you know, unlike you, when you talk to your friends about me.
I was deathly ill for 2 days.
I don't give a fuck what you were.
What'd you tell him about me?
You'll have to find out, I guess, when you meet him.
There's been a sticker on your shirt this entire time. It's really hard to listen to you when it's there.
I didn't know it was a sticker. I saw it.
You thought it was like a little tag?
Yeah, I thought it was a tag.
Nay, brother.
But whatever. I've never wore this shirt.
Right.
I bought it.
I gotcha.
And then I never wore it.
You know how I know?
Because it's clean?
Well, no, there's no hole in your armpit.
Oh, yeah.
Like every other shirt.
Let me just rip it.
Hey, let me talk about that real quick. You and ripping clothes?
Yeah.
If you ever put your hands in my pocket again, I'm going to break your arm.
I was never going to rip your
I'm going to put you in a fucking Kimorta.
But
I'm going to rip your fucking arm out of your socket.
Wouldn't that be funny as fuck?
No.
Wouldn't you laugh a little? And
not at all. Not at all. Just for a little bit of context, I've recently gotten a bunch of new kind of, I'd say like 1940s grandpa dress pants. They're very nice. I get a lot of compliments on them.
They are very nice.
He hasn't done this to me, but he stated he's done this to people before, where Kyle will take his big ass monkey hands and he'll grab a pocket like from the outside and half in, and he'll like rip it, like pull it really hard as like a joke. Yeah. And so he's gone halfway there with these new pants, 2 different kinds of them, where he's like, I could do it.
Hey,
it'd be funny.
It would be funny.
And he's just waiting for me to like laugh or give a little, like, just a little hint of like, it would be funny if you did it. So then he'd do it.
I would.
And I purposely would punch him in the face as hard as possible.
I would never ruin your clothes while you're at work, because that would be
Why are you specifying that?
Because
like it could happen anywhere else.
If I ripped your pants at work, that'd be fucked up.
Right? No, it sounds like you're willing to do it somewhere else.
Well,
I wanted to get it in your mind. I don't want you to do it at all.
I don't want you to like work with ripped pants at work. That'd be fucked up.
You keep going back to work. I'm talking about in general. Don't touch my clothes.
Well, yeah, but why would I ever do that? That's like I don't just do violence on people.
But you do.
No.
You do like these little pranks.
I do little pranks.
Yeah, don't do that.
Oh man, that reminds me.
What do you got?
Because I know I'm clearly leading the show right now.
Yeah.
Fucking Priscilla. I don't know why, but she fucking like I was standing at the second computer at work, right, in the dispatch office, and
you're leading the show because I gave you the respect.
Yeah, whatever.
I just want to make that clear.
Sure. No, you wanted to drink your coffee. And
I could take the reins.
Yeah, I'm sure.
If we need to.
Yeah, I'm sure you could.
Continue.
Okay, but she like came up behind me and kicked the back of my knee.
Beautiful.
But she kicked it when I was actually moving away, so it did nothing.
Mm.
And then she was like, "What? I'm so disappointed." And then I was like, "Oh, you don't want to play this game with me. I'll get evil." And she was like, she played the I don't know what you're talking about, and then immediately turned around and like went back into the position where I was, right?
Right.
And I went right behind her with my big ass fucking size 13 and a half foot and fucking kicked both of her legs in, and she almost fell to the ground. I watched her soul leave her body. She was like, you know, and then she like started falling, and then like I put my hand up and I caught her.
You assaulted a coworker?
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, she assaulted me first.
That's true. That's so true.
Yeah.
If I believe in anything, it's equal rights.
Yeah. Equal rights, equal fights. Never not pick your hand up.
Wow.
But
I don't know if I condone that. Go ahead.
Um,
Is that what you were going to tell me about Priscilla the other day?
That's a whole nother story.
Because we can lead into that directly from this.
We can.
Because I'm interested to hear about it.
But I feel like I've already said so much. So I think we should back
No. Get in there.
What do you mean?
Get in. Because I'm really excited to hear about what you were trying to tell me this week.
Okay.
It's killing me.
So Priscilla has been testing
the waters
a lot.
Okay.
So like she's
opening up as a person.
She's opening up as a person with me, and I fucking love it.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Because
what's the tea?
Because I realized that I am corrupting this poor girl.
For sure.
Like
you see what you've done to me, right? You turn people to the dark side.
So like I have set a standard because like I want you to understand. Tracy got me thinking, and I felt bad for a moment.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. It's a rare thing for him to do.
And yeah. So like, because I had to think about it. I'm like, am I really that bad? Right? So Tracy confronted me after like Priscilla left the room for a moment.
Uh-huh.
What?
Nothing. She looks really pretty. She's like doing her feathers.
Oh, okay.
She's all poofed out.
She's not even on camera.
Fuck, man. It's half the show.
Hold on.
Scoot her over.
The stick is in the way.
Ooh, new stick. All right. Get in there. Get in there.
Hold on. This stick is in the way.
What the fuck? Where are these sticks appearing from? Just pulling sticks out of the fucking corner of the room.
She's still... It's because she's not like right here like she usually is.
Nah, she'll come over in a minute.
Yeah, whatever. You can kind of see her.
You can see her. She's peeking.
But, fuck, what was I saying?
There she goes. She's coming. She's in frame.
Yeah, there she is. All right. But Tracy like told me that like I'm really mean to Priscilla.
Okay.
And that I should calm it down.
Okay.
And I'm like, what are you talking about?
You know it's bad when Tracy says something.
Right. Like like it wasn't like she said it as a joke either. She said that she waited till Priscilla left the room and was like,
Kyle.
Hey, you should probably calm down.
Okay.
And I'm like,
damn.
What are you talking about?
Damn.
And then like the whole time I'm just thinking to myself like, what the fuck did I like do? Blah blah blah. And I'm like, I guess I'm too mean to her. Blah blah blah. And then like Priscilla came into work or whatever, right? And I confronted her. I was like, Priscilla, I need you to answer this question like honestly to me. And she like got all like worried. I was like, Tracy brought this to my attention and she has told me that I am a very mean person to you, and do you feel that I'm mean to you? And she like paused, took like a deep breath, and she was like, yeah. Like straight face.
All right.
And went, yeah. And I was like, good, I'm gonna keep being mean to you.
Wow. In true Kyle fashion.
Yeah. Immediately. And then I told her, I was like, and the only reason why is because of what you said to me last weekend.
Okay.
And she was just like, we don't have to talk about that. And I was like, okay, whatever. So, let me now throw down the basis for that little story. On the weekend, it was me, her, and fuck, what is her name?
Sheree.
Sheree.
Zainab?
I was about to say Charnay, but it's Sheree.
Okay.
Sheree was there, and we were just in there talking shit, joking around, like just saying random shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I started explaining to Sheree how I essentially made this story up about Priscilla's father, right? So what I was saying was, so her father got deported, right? This isn't me.
Go ahead.
Yeah, her father got deported,
mm-hmm.
and how he got deported was because Priscilla called ICE on him.
Okay. Is this true, or you made this up?
This is my story.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Okay.
Damn.
So, Priscilla called.
You're
ICE
a wicked bastard.
Oh yeah, dude. Priscilla called ICE on him, and he got taken away, and now he's been living in Mexico for a couple years or whatever.
Okay.
I don't know how long he's been there, but she also finances him and takes care of him in a way.
Okay.
This is true on that part. Like, she does send him money because she loves her dad, I guess.
Okay.
But the actual story is that he was out with friends and he got pulled over by ICE or the police or whatever, and he got deported because they caught him doing something that he shouldn't have been doing, right? Okay. Don't know what he was doing. She didn't really explain that part, but I told her, because of what she told me, was that she has called the police on her dad multiple times. I was like, oh, so you set your dad up with a rap sheet. So he probably met the quota to get deported because you called the cops on him multiple times. And she's like, no, shut up. Like, it's not my fault that my dad got deported. And I was like, well, if we follow your track record, you did deport your father. And I did my serious talk, where like I stopped joking and I just like tell her like straightforward. And she looks me dead in my eyes and says, yeah, well, you could have saved your father. And then she walks away.
Wow.
And I sit there and I'm like, wow.
Wow.
I could have saved my father. 4-year-old me eating my McDonald's, staring him while he puts that barrel in his mouth.
Wow.
I could have just ripped the gun out of his hand. Like, I started saying all this shit to her, right?
Right.
And she came back and she's like, listen, I'm really sorry about what I just said. Because, like, she thought about it,
okay.
right?
Okay.
And I was like, oh, no. You don't get to just go back on this. You said that with complete malice in your heart.
The damage is done.
And I love it.
Yeah.
Wow. She said that shit with the purest of confidence in her eyes.
I love that.
Like, I wish you were there to see how she said it.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, it's one of those, like, you have to be there to see just the pure...
Yeah.
Like,
now she's just embarrassed because I keep telling everybody. Like, I told Stephanie the other day.
What'd Steph say?
Stephanie, she came in with her coffee and she was like, put it in the microwave, and she goes to like push the buttons, and I was like, hey Stephanie, just so you know, I could have saved my father. And then she like paused, like she didn't type the numbers. She's like, what the fuck are you talking about? I was like, at the age of 4, my dad put a gun in his mouth after getting me McDonald's, and he decided to blow his brains out. And she's like, she didn't say shit. She just kept looking at the microwave, looking at the buttons, and she's like, listen here, Kyle, I don't know what the fuck to do now. What do you want me to say to that?
There it is.
And I was like, I just want you to know that I could have saved him.
And Priscilla was in the room?
Priscilla was in the room.
Okay.
And like, Priscilla's just sitting there like, stop fucking telling people that. I was like, it's come to my attention that I could have saved him.
According to an inside scoop.
Yeah, according to an inside scoop. And then she's like, who the fuck would even say that to you? And I'm like, I don't know. Like,
and you're pointing towards
I'm
Priscilla?
like gesturing to Priscilla.
Yeah.
But yeah, now I just keep talking mad shit about it, because it's so funny.
That is funny.
I'm surprised I was able to like keep it out of your ear.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything about it.
Yeah.
That's really funny.
Oh, dude.
I'm proud of her.
Yeah, there's nothing but pride in that situation.
For sure.
She said the most fucked up thing she could say at that moment. I said some shit about her dad. She said some shit about my dad.
Beautiful.
And I can't even be mad.
Beautiful.
Which I would have never been. Because to me, that's fucking hilarious.
Sure.
You know? Do I think I could have saved him? I didn't even know what the fuck a gun was.
No. Yeah.
You know? I was happy with my nuggies. You know? But whatever. Still great.
I'm with you.
That's the end of that story. If you want to jump in and throw something out.
Like what?
I don't fucking know. It's your story.
Dude, I've been like so dick deep into solo leveling. It's not even funny.
Oh, yeah.
So I haven't finished it, and I haven't been able to continue reading since we last talked about it today.
Okay.
So for the viewers, I've stopped reading manga since like the before 4 times of COVID. I haven't read a new manga since probably like 2019. I watched some anime, but since 2019 I haven't read anything. And I kept hearing stuff about solo leveling, especially from Kyle. And I am not a fan of that sort of anime. I'm not a fan of like isekais, or I'm not a fan of like video game based type anime or manga. But let me tell you something. Reading Solo Leveling has just sparked a whole like flashback to my teenage years of loving manga and stuff like that. Like I am so invested. From Monday to today, I have averaged probably about 2 hours or 3 hours a day just constantly reading. I'm almost done with the whole series. I'm on chapter like 160 right now out of 200. And it's so good. Every time I think it gets boring, or every time I think I'm not going to like it anymore, it's dragging on, or the story's like dull, there's not enough stakes. Oh, it just like flips on me. And it's so good. And I can't talk to Kyle about it because Kyle loves to do this thing where he likes to spit spoilers out, and he thinks in his head that he either like doesn't know he's spoiling it, or he think it's funny to spoil something about it, or he is like not. He says he's not given the correct context clues of where I'm at like, in the story.
In this, in the parameters, right? You tell me, oh, so like I'm gonna go to the Iron character.
Okay,
right?
let's flash back.
We're gonna flash back a little bit.
Let's stay in the past.
He came up to me and said, "Hey, there. Right now I'm reading this part. There are these
ice elves.
There are these ice elves." And I'm like, "Oh, that's cool. That's where what's his name gets his next summon character, Iron. I think his name was Iron."
Yes.
It is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So he names him Iron. And I'm like, "Cool." And then Thomas is like, "What the fuck? Why would you tell me that?"
Because you missed a part.
And
you did not say Iron, by the way.
And then I was I did.
You said the tanker, the A-list tank. That's what you said.
No. I said that after because you were like, "What are you talking about?" And then I was like, "Oh yeah, you see." And then he showed like where he was in the book. I was like, "You see that guy right there? That's Iron." And I was like, "He dies in like the next scene. Like literally, if you flip the next page, he's dead." And you were so disappointed and mad. But I didn't mean to ruin that part. I just thought, you were within that vicinity to understand that.
I showed you the exact panel where I was at.
Yeah, right before.
Which did not indicate that he was going to die. It just indicated that
running for his
people
life.
Run. And guess what? In this series, half the people that run are saved by our main character.
Not him.
So you never know.
He was killed by the main character.
No shit.
Which was even better.
And it was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad I experienced it.
Yeah, that's why I didn't fully tell you everything.
But I experienced it with some hatred.
Okay.
To you.
So, I do want to break
That is 1 out of 7 spoilers he's given me for this book, by the way. Go ahead.
Not really.
4. 1 out of 4.
Okay. 4? Could we say 4?
We could say 4.
Okay, what was the first one?
I don't remember.
Because the second one was Iron.
That's right.
The third one was Mom.
Okay, and the fourth one was Death.
No, I didn't ruin anything in Death.
You're saying some shit though, which could mean something. You're making my mind spin in 5 different directions.
No, I just
hold on. Careful.
I'll say this part.
No. I'm worried. I'm worried to let you say anything.
I think once you realize what's going to happen, you'll be like, "This is it. This is great."
Okay, leave it at that.
Yeah,
I'm excited. I wanted to finish it so we could actually talk about the whole thing.
Right.
But it's a long read.
So let's talk about the beginning then. Like the very start of the read, we compare it and contrast to what we've seen in the anime so far and what we've seen in the actual book.
Well, you were right. The book is 10 times better than the story
Just 10
of the anime.
Okay.
Well, if it's out of 10, yeah, what do you want me to say, 11?
Yeah, I do.
It's great.
I want you to give it that.
It's
20.
great. Now, I'll tell you though, I haven't seen the whole anime. I've seen the 3 episodes we watched together.
Yes.
And I've seen scenes from the entire rest of the first season. I've never watched them straight through.
You didn't finish it?
No, why would I? I'm reading the manga. I like the manga way better. I can't watch the anime.
What?
Yeah, I've only watched like the fight scenes and the important stuff from the book. Because what I was doing, which was fun, was I'll like read the fight scene that I know they animated already, and I watched it. Or I'll read the scene and I'll look it up and see if they actually did in the episode.
Well, the anime skips a lot of content.
Yeah, it does.
And it's crazy how much content was actually skipped.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of useless information.
Sure.
But that useless information makes it
it plays.
Whole.
It makes it more whole. I'm way into it with all this little information.
And the one thing that I really didn't like. Oh, right. One of the parts that
Here
you
we go.
said that I ruined was the.
So this is supposed to be the fourth one.
It might have been the first one. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was the blonde chick.
That's right. No,
but
I wouldn't call that a spoiler.
It wasn't really a spoiler.
No, you didn't spoil that.
Because for my exact words to you were...
Actually, you kind of did. Because you said it was a romance thing. So you did. Yeah.
Well, they set it up as a romance thing in the anime.
Right, which I didn't recall at all.
Really?
No, I was not there.
Okay, well, whatever. I don't like that they showed her in the very beginning.
Which I don't remember.
Right.
And the whole Jeju Island thing, I don't remember that from the anime when we watched it.
They showed it at the very beginning.
I only remember the room where everybody died, which is great.
Yeah.
Crocs.
The Crocs.
Where everybody died.
He didn't put him in sports mode?
When he respawned and the original C or D dungeon that he was doing or whatever. Yeah, so like it's all good. Manga's great.
Huh?
The manga's so good. I can't even it's so good.
The scene of where he's about to get his powers and that he's just getting beat by the statues.
Amazing.
They fucked him up more than the anime showed.
Dude.
And the anime literally shows him like on the fucking blade just dying.
That's it. Yeah, no, right? In the manga he's getting stabbed like 3 times, lifted in the air, thrown on the pedestal. Dude, amazing.
Beat the shit out of him.
Amazing. Yeah.
And he's just
dying. And you can see I'm gonna be honest with you,
the life
coming out of his eyes and the eyes of a lot of people in the manga is done so well. I love this art style because it's not Japanese manga, it's South Korean manga.
Yeah, it's Korean.
It's very I love the art style. It's just subtly different and it's very clean. Very clean.
Right. And where does it go from there? He fights the Spider Queen. That does happen. He kills those 5 guys?
Yeah.
4 guys? He kills those guys.
I think there's 5 in total.
Yeah, I think it is 5.
No, he decapitates 1. He fights the 2, and then it's the last guy who's the brother of the S-list.
Then it's 4.
Hunter. It is 4.
Okay. Because it's 4 guys, immediately kills
5 guys. I forgot about the mage.
Oh, yeah.
It is 5 people. Yep. Assassin, 2 DPS, 1 mage, and then our tank.
And then the tank.
I got it. I'm with you.
Okay.
I'm with you.
It's 4 guys he fights, 5 guys he kills. Because the first guy, he just slices his fucking throat.
Amen,
and
brother.
His head falls. Fucking amazing.
Amazing. I watched that scene again on YouTube for the anime. Meh. The throat slit, meh.
See,
the stabbing, meh. In the manga, gory.
Okay.
Beautiful.
So where you are right now...
Now hold on, man!
I need to know...
No.
Did he get the ogres yet? He had to have gotten them.
He's had the ogres for a while. I'm just worried about what you're going to say.
He has the mage ogre?
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
Okay.
That's... Just stop from there.
Why?
I don't want to know anything else.
Why not?
I want to experience this.
Well, no. I'm only backtracking. I'm not going further.
Okay.
See, I don't know.
Be cautious!
I don't... So...
Here's the thing. I tell him guys, context. I tell him and sometimes show him exactly where I am in the manga, and he still jumps forward.
How about I say this?
What?
Do you know, was there a dungeon break at the school?
Yes.
Okay. Wasn't that one of the greatest fucking areas?
Whoa.
That was, dude.
Whoa, they're killing these kids.
The ogres that came out of that portal and said, we're about to fuck this place
That's
up.
the kind of shit that you cut to black to. No.
Dude.
Not in the manga.
This is my favorite part of the entire series.
Slaughtering kids?
The slaughtering of the kids, yes.
Sure.
But when Jinwoo
shows back up,
doesn't have his ability to teleport, and he realizes his sister is in danger.
Yeah, and he has to get there now.
He can't save her.
Mm-hmm.
And he knows he can't save her.
And he's stuck outside the gate or inside the gate.
He's like trapped in a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
He can't get out.
Yeah.
And he just brute strengths everything.
Amazing.
And wills his way there.
Yeah. He's like, I have to leave, and all the monsters in the way, he's like, get the fuck out of my way. I gotta go.
In the middle of that big ass fight, he's just like, I gotta go. Mm-hmm. Summons a fucking dragon, does all this shit. See, I didn't want to ruin all of that, but this is like my favorite part of the entire series.
Okay.
This one spot.
Yeah.
Other than where you're at.
I'm with you.
Because the ending
area
is really nice too. But this part was just the fucking, like, you know where you get like a little bit of like that meat and potatoes?
Sure.
This is the whole fucking steak.
It's the stew? Oh, the steak.
Dude, like that's that like, oh shit, this is a bigger slice than all the other pieces of meat.
I gotcha.
And you just got like, oh yeah. Dude, fucking when he like meets up there and he finally shows up and he sees his sister getting choked out by that ogre.
Oh yeah, and the look on his face, the aura coming off of him, he's
and
like...
as the ogre is holding her, he looks at him and he's like, I fucked up.
Yeah.
Because like he just felt the pressure of what's the word that they gave them? Because they're like kings of something. I don't know. I know you're there already where you know the
monarch?
Word. Yeah, the monarch.
Okay, yeah.
He felt like the aura of the monarch.
Yeah.
And it's just like, damn.
I also really liked how when he easily slaughtered all the henchmen of the ogre, he grabbed him in the same way he grabbed his sister and like held him. Yeah, I thought that was really nice.
Just holding him while he's killing other people.
Yeah, it was a great touch.
And the guy's just like trying to fucking get out of it. Oh, dude, it's so brutally good.
Yeah. I'm also a big fan that there's a little bit of comedy. I really like how there's like these very, like it's not often. And I like that. How there's just these very subtle, like they go into chibi mode. Yeah. And like, you know what I mean? Or like the summons, they have personalities. Yeah, they all like have when Tank is like, and the bear's like, I'm like, this is great. But then the whole rest of the manga, they're slaughtering everybody. And then all of a sudden,
they just kill.
Like I keep forgetting that our main character still has some emotions. Because like they're fighting, like for example, this was a few chapters ago, so not that long ago.
Okay.
Where Baru and what's his name? Jungsu, we'll call him.
Yeah.
And Jungsu are in the training room by themselves, and they're duking it out. And he's like, "Damn, I'm even stronger than Baru, and Baru's my strongest commander that I have." And whatever. And Baru's like just being funny, and he's like, Your Majesty, I'm too weak for you. And I'm like, this is great. This is so funny.
Well, he knew that from the start. He literally died to him.
Yeah, but like, it's so funny. Like just seeing him, and then our main character, like he's got some emotion still. He's like, maybe we're gonna have to stop having you watch those fantasy dramas. And he's like, please, no, my lord,
no, my lord. Yeah,
hilarious.
It's so great,
hilarious. I'm a big fan of seeing the shadows talk.
Yeah.
I think it's great. I'm really upset he didn't get the dragon, Kaishel, or whatever the dragon's name is. But I like the little like conversation they had where he's like, you know, I'll spoil the whole story for you, but you can't capture me. And then he goes away. I'm like,
Yeah.
Like, ah.
He said no.
Yeah. But I like that he has his teeth as daggers. That was really cool. I'm also liking the friendship. This is almost to where I'm at, so don't say anything. But I'm also liking the friendship between him and Thomas, the lead American S rank guy that he fights, the guy that can do reinforcement. He fist fights him and beats him to death almost.
The blonde haired guy,
the blonde guy with the tattoos.
Okay, so you already got past the where the S rank guy from the America came, right?
Yes.
And he like brutally almost kills Jinwoo's best friend.
Yeah.
Okay, so like he tortures the fuck out of him, beats him.
Yeah, the other guy, the brother of the other guy. With good callback, by the way.
Right.
I like that we brought that other S rank guy back.
So the only
just to die.
Right.
Yeah.
So like the biggest thing was he fights him, and then he like tortures his friend, just beats the shit out of him through and through. And Jinwoo shows up.
I really like how dark that got for a minute. He's like, by the way, you're gonna tell me what I want to know, or I'm gonna beat you to death. He's gonna revive you, and I'm gonna beat you to death again. That was cool.
Yeah.
That was cool to see the hunters as people. Like, that's what people would do. I could see it, like dark, evil people.
Yeah.
Super cool writing. And I really liked, by the way, after he was done fighting Thomas, they go look, and the evil S rank guy, he's dead. Yeah. They're like, what the fuck? And then
Thomas tried to save him. He's like, I'm going to let you go with a warning, because he's like, I'm the strongest person in the world, blah, blah, blah. And Jinwoo's like, I don't give a fuck whether you're the strongest person in the world. He's going to die today.
Yeah. He's dead. Yeah.
It doesn't matter what you say.
But I really liked how he was still alive during the whole fight. But when Jinwoo disappears, he's dead and his shadow is distracted. Yeah. So he did that quietly and off camera. Yeah. I love that. That was awesome. Because I think in a panel it shows that he actually got cut. So what I think Jinwoo did is after they ended the battle with Thomas, he went over, killed him real quick, took his shadow and left. Yeah. And teleported. I think that's so cool.
And then all Jinwoo does is torture his shadow.
I saw the scene after he's like talking to the shadow and all that, giving him a name and all that. Yep. And he's like, now get back down on your knees. That was a funny cutaway. Get back down. Yeah, that was awesome, man. But yeah, it's so good. It's so good. I can't wait to finish it. And I'm really excited to finish it because I haven't been excited for a new manga in years, man. Years.
I don't think you're going to like the ending. But I
never do.
I do think that you would find the ending acceptable.
Okay. I think I'll like it like Berserk, where, as you said, the author died, unfortunately, and the team tries to finish it the best they can. Yeah. I think I will feel the exact same way I felt about Berserk, where it's amazing and I see what they're trying to do. Unfortunately, it's not enough, but it's there, and I'm happy with it.
Right.
I'm with you.
Because you're right at the cusp of where
everything changes.
Everything changes.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I hate that because you can clearly tell how it all changes.
Sort of. I'm in a loop right now. I'm kind of like, I don't know if we're all. I can't say anything because I don't want you to jump in.
I know, I'm not gonna say shit.
All right, if you're not gonna say anything,
I won't say shit.
I'm right in the spot where he just died, quote unquote, life flashback, but also reset the world ? But also, who are you and why are you doing this? Now you're talking to God. While actually, by the way, the battle is still going on. That timeline's still there. So it's all there's 3 different ways the story could go right now. Number 1, he gets revived because he's got 2 hearts and some shit goes down. Number 2, the Monarch, the Shadow Monarch, the original, is, actually the artificer, whatever they called it, and Jinwoo has to decide if he wants to go back, something. Number 3, or the world could reset and he does it again, where he starts everything again, which I thought where it was going. Like for literally a whole chapter, I thought he was like, oh, I'm back in the hospital. I know everything now. I'm still my level. I can continue and try again at like level 400. That's not what's going on. It's, he's still there in the death scene, but he's slowly dying. Mm-hmm. And there's all this. So there's like 4 different ways the story could branch off right now, and I'm excited to find out what it is, which is why 100%. I'm so worried you're going to say something. No. Don't. Be there for me, brother.
What I explained to you in that first beginning was you just gotta go through that part.
Okay.
Because that's the next step that's like my favorite part.
This is the last 30 chapters. Yeah. Like I'm right there.
You're right there.
I'm so excited.
And then once you finish those chapters, there is a second story.
Yeah, like a B story.
Yeah. It's like a B team story.
Yeah.
It's about.
Hold on. I'm good. I'll find out.
That's why I stopped.
Thank you. I could see it. I could see the gear turning. We're all good.
It's not really much of a spoiler or anything.
That's fine. I don't want to hear it.
But
whatever. I'm with you.
Yeah.
You should be proud of how much I care about this anime / manga you've been trying to get me into.
I'm happy and I like it. And
I'm
excited about it that you actually started reading it and all that.
Obeda got me into it.
Yeah, I'm sure Obeda did get you into it.
Feels good, doesn't it?
No, I'm glad Obeda got you into it.
I'm glad you're starting a podcast with Dave.
Thank you. You know, now that you've brought that up,
plug it in.
Since we're talking about manga right now,
you like how I segued?
Yeah,
I set this up.
Oh, I knew this was what I was waiting for.
We're in.
All right, so
see how compatible we are.
Oh, we're so compatible.
Fuck you,
man.
Dave. Go ahead.
If only I knew. But so a long time ago, when I was a lot younger, I wanted to start like a YouTube slash like podcast where I would pretty much just read manga and I would like go over it chapter by chapter and explain it, kind of like how me and him did just now. Me and Thomas. Let me specify Thomas there, right? We were able to, not specifically say everything that we wanted to talk about the specific chapters, but it's kind of what I'm aiming for, where it's going to be a little bit more detailed. So like me and my next co-host Dave, that I don't know his last name, so it's just going to be Dave.
Cunt.
Dave Cunt.
Mm.
All right, I'm sure it's not Cunt, but what we're aiming to do is we're going to be reading different mangas, whether it be like the newest ones or the oldest ones. This time around, I've chosen what is the name of the game? The book is Starting the Game as a Barbarian, or Playing the Game as a Barbarian, and it's extremely good. I recommend it to anybody who wants to read it. We are going to be covering the first 10 chapters on our first episode. Hopefully that's going to be anywhere between 30 minutes to an hour. I'm hoping that it's not over an hour, because I just want it to be like a simple 10 episodes. We produce them as we go, because I don't really want to do too much editing for them either, But I also don't want them to be like too raunchy. Like, I want us to be a little more, put together. I like that we're raunchy. I like that we say things randomly. I like that we yell at each other. That's beautiful, because that's our dynamic, and it's a very strong relationship that we can keep wholesome and together. You like how I just slid all that on the table really quick and smooth? Yeah, I know you did.
I'm gonna stab you when you sleep.
But yeah, so because this was something that I've always wanted to do when I was a little kid, I decided to ask my buddy Dave, because he was actually interested in the manga itself. And I was like, hey, are you a big manga reader? He said, no, actually, I don't read manga at all. And I was like, then why the hell are you reading one right now? He was like, well, I figured I would open my horizons and start getting deeper into it and reading.
He doesn't like manga?
It's not that he doesn't like it. It's like he just never really read manga.
He looks like the kind of guy that only reads manga.
Okay.
So imagine my surprise.
Yeah.
To that factoid.
Well, that's what he told me. I don't know if he'll change the story later.
Okay.
Right? But when he said that, I was like, yeah, I've always wanted to do a podcast reading manga. And he was like, oh, wow, that's really cool. I was like, hey, you should read this manga. And then I was like, and I just kind of nonchalantly said it. I was like, and if you end up reading it and you like it, we can do a podcast on it. And he was like, yeah, sure, let's do it. As soon as he said that, I was like, all right, fuck it, let's go.
Fuck it.
Started in the works of making fucking artwork for it. Started in the works of fucking setting it up with its own account and everything. And it's going to happen. We will be recording tomorrow.
Well, I wish you luck on that endeavor, and I support you.
Oh, thank you.
I 100% support you.
Yep. And just so that you guys know the name of it, it is called Manga Mindset, which is actually a pretty solid name, if I do say so myself.
You ChatGPT'd it.
I did, but
You didn't have to confess that. I just guessed.
No. Well, shit. We fucking ChatGPT'd fucking unapologetic voices.
No, we didn't.
Yeah, we did.
I made that up.
No, we fucking went through renditions of 20 different things.
We did?
Yeah. We brought it all the way down, did a bunch of different things, and then we were like, okay, let's keep.
Oh, we stuck with unapologetic, I think, and then we mixed up some.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then because
I swear I came up with something about that.
There was fucking, what was it, something dad bod something.
My Discord name?
No. It was like dad bod.
My
something.
name on Discord is.
I'm pretty sure
Dad bod Dionysus.
I'm pretty sure the list is still on there.
It might be.
We could look it up, but
we could.
I remember us just like shooting back and forth different names, and then I was typing in names to just generate stuff so that we could continue shooting back until we finalized.
I'm with you.
That's what me and him did.
God, you pissed me off.
Why?
Your memory is like pretty damn good.
Yeah, I know. And it's for useless shit too.
It is, but it's there.
Yeah. I just remember useless shit.
I like to usually point out that I got into a car accident back in 2020.
Yeah, sure.
Which I don't like to use an excuse a lot, but
you do.
I just noticed that I've lately been bringing it up a lot more.
Yeah.
That like my memory is just shit for a lot of things. So I want to say it's part. Why do you keep fucking brushing your hair?
I just like running my fingers through my hair. Do you got a problem with me touching it?
No, I don't.
All right, then be quiet about it.
I'm just asking because it's like a constant tick you've been doing the entire show.
No, not at all.
All right.
I clap for my ticks.
I know. I've been waiting this whole time.
I'm not gonna clap.
Let's not do it. All right.
I'm busy.
Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your mind's preoccupied.
Yeah.
So I will say I support you and your manga mindset. I'm excited to give it a listen, and maybe I can guest on it.
You're gonna read a manga?
Why not?
Okay.
I'm in the zone apparently.
Yeah.
I'm in the zone. You got me.
I will say this.
Lot of shit.
Dave is planning to read Solo Leveling, so we probably will cover Solo Leveling at some point.
Oh, I'd love to jump in.
So having you in there as a third point of view would be really cool.
A non-spoiler third point of view. Got it.
Now, one thing that I do hate,
White
about
people.
Solo Leveling.
Oh, go ahead.
Just to backtrack just a tiny bit, is that once Solo Leveling got super popular, it became mid.
In terms of what?
The people who are like reading and / watching it. And I hate that thought.
What do you mean?
So like, you know how you know the terminology for mid, right?
Sure.
Where it's okay, but it's not that great.
Sure.
Right? But
Sword Art Online.
But to me, Solo Leveling is one of the greatest fucking written pieces.
I'm up there. I'm with you.
For
modern manga.
Its modern,
yes.
Like manga times. They literally, like, that manga set the standard for almost everything within that same genre.
I agree with you.
And so many people are like, oh, it's just mid. Like, there's hundreds of them that are like it. Like, yeah, but that's the original. That's, like, yes, there were hundreds before that one, right? But they were dog shit compared to that one.
I got you.
You know?
I'm with you.
That one literally went from, like, there was a couple other ones that are still, like, high tiers, right?
Yeah.
But that one...
Reborn as a Slime.
Well, it's kind of different. Because it's a different genre style.
Oh, I thought it was a player-based style. I kind of remember him having, like, powers that he saw on a screen and shit.
He does. But the way that it's set up is... I'm forgetting the exact name for those style of manga. But instead of leaving your world and going to another, they're not leaving their world. Portals are opening up in their world.
Goddamn isekais.
Right. And they're...
Which technically, by the way...
Yes.
It is an isekai.
It is an isekai. In a way.
In a way. So I hate it.
Okay. But there's a specific genre name for, like, when they don't leave their world, but there's portals to other worlds that they come back to their world too. I don't remember the name of it, but that Solo Leveling literally started it and made it the best.
Nice.
Right?
Nice.
And I hate hearing people be like, yeah, it's just mid. I've read better.
Who's saying that though?
A lot of people do.
No, don't get me wrong. I've read better manga.
Oh, 100%.
But this is... You have to be smart and break it down that this is in its own genre.
Right.
It's in its own class.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to compare Death Note to everything. Death Note is its own class.
But people will.
Why?
I don't know. They do it for Dragon Ball.
Dragon Ball is also in its own class, in my opinion.
Yeah, but Dragon Ball sucks. It's just fighting.
Calm down.
And now I'll say this.
Yeah.
Dragon Ball compared to some of the other fighters that are out there, Dragon Ball takes the cake any day of the week.
Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, the original stories, I think takes the cake.
So,
but everything else, I don't know.
There's other ones that are out there that are just so fucking good.
For sure.
Right?
For sure.
And there's hundreds of fighters. Right? But Dragon Ball always stays pretty much number one for these fighters.
Right.
There's some new ones that have come out and like everybody's like talking shit saying, the main character could beat base Goku.
Yeah, there's a couple of those that are I'm like, okay.
They're like, who cares if we can beat base Goku?
They couldn't, but yeah.
For the most part, base Goku could fucking blow up half his planet already?
He probably still, he could probably like get in there.
No, that's not true. He couldn't.
Base Goku could cut a hole in the planet, I would say.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, because he can Kamehameha pretty damn hard.
Yeah. I would give him that.
Are we saying base Goku is when he fights his brother on Earth for the first time? Is that what you call base Goku? Like anything before Super Saiyan, basically.
Like the very first season.
Yeah.
Before Super Saiyan, yes.
Okay, so before Frieza is base Goku.
Yeah,
we'll say.
Before Frieza shows up. So then it would be, what? I think he did like a normal human tournament, right? And he's classified as like the strongest human. Or does he lose? I don't remember.
I think I don't know what you're saying.
Maybe I'm forgetting because I've watched it all.
Yeah,
but I've watched it in different pieces.
So he's only been in 3 tournaments, I think.
Okay,
and I don't recall him. I know he purposely
loses one
the last one.
And Hercules becomes like the winner of it.
No, he just didn't compete.
Okay.
Yeah. He didn't compete in a lot of them. That's why Hercules became so popular. Because he's a very strong human.
Yeah.
He's just like, he just so happens to be the fall guy for everybody.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, great character.
Yeah.
I think Hercules is hilarious.
He's a great character.
Yeah, he's great.
Now, as much as I don't like Dragon Ball Z, because like I really don't care for it.
Sure.
But I always give its props.
It's got props.
It's like they came up with a story, they followed it through with as best as they could.
Akira Toriyama.
But it's about fighting, and that's what they do.
And then it branched off to a lot of stuff. But, it's awesome.
Yeah.
It is awesome.
Because, like...
in its own right.
Right. When you compare it to other fighters, you could say some of the fight scenes are mid in the earlier renditions, but that's only because the technology to draw back then wasn't as good.
Very old school.
Like, what do you want from them?
Yeah.
And then when you take the new modern ones, they're like, oh, this is it. This is the greatest of all fucking time.
Yeah.
It's like, great, cool. You can still see it,
I mean, don't get me wrong, man. Those fight scenes from, like, Demon Slayer are insane. I agree that Demon Slayer is a little mid, like, story-wise and stuff.
Yeah.
But the passion, the acting, the art style, and the fights are amazing.
A lot of people are mad about Demon Slayer only for, like, a stupid reason, right?
Like,
so let me explain the reason. Every time you see any of the characters do their style, so like fire style,
it's not real.
None of that's real.
Yeah.
None of that's happening.
No.
And the creator said all of that is fake. There's no fire.
Yeah, there's no visuals. It's just a
normal sword.
Yeah.
That's touched that demon at that point.
Essentially they're just imagining that's what it looks like.
They're imagining it.
I think that's dumb.
Right.
It's an anime.
They said, so like a lot of people say because the creator took away the creativity.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
It makes it worse.
That's a great way to put it.
Way worse anime.
Yeah.
Just because, like, you could have said, yes, Thunder style, he's going lightning speed with the blade.
Right.
And there's a lightning bolt.
That's awesome.
It looks cool.
That's cool as fuck.
I'm glad you drew it that way.
Right.
But then you're just saying, no, he actually just ran as fast as he could. And just went, Fing.
That's so dumb. I did hear about that, and you're right. That is another thing that pisses me off about it.
A lot of people, as soon as they heard that, they were like, I thought this was the greatest. And they said, fuck that.
I agree that was a poor choice. I agree. And that does make the show a little more mid.
Right.
I agree with you.
And, I watched it like not all the way through. I didn't watch the newest season,
Mm-hmm.
but you know, from what I saw, Demon Slayer is a really good anime. Like
It is.
So as much as I don't care for Attack on Titan,
Careful now. You see how God just
I
hit you in the throat?
Well, no, I'd put Attack on Titan above Demon Slayer any day.
You put it above a lot of things, right?
Not
Heretic.
Not everything, because my genres that I like don't revolve around that.
That's very true.
So
I'm with you.
Yeah. So like, I do like the whole shonen style protagonist and how. Let me think of the words correctly. Not because I have to, but because I want to. The Attack on Titan anime breaks down the norm for the shonen style.
Okay.
Right? So, like, yes, obviously the main character isn't going to die. But you never know. There's a lot of parts where anything happens.
Sure.
And it keeps you suspenseful, right? You could say the same thing for, like, Naruto. There's so many scenes where Naruto is, like, this close to being fucking murdered.
Yeah, and he gets
killed.
Deus Ex Machina a lot.
And, yeah. But the thing about that show is nobody is going to get killed, right? No one who's important dies. If that makes sense. In Naruto.
Okay.
In Attack on Titan,
I see what you're saying.
You don't know who's going to die. You just know the main character is going to make it.
Yeah. That was a good... For me, that was one of those shows that first started me on the whole, oh, no one's safe.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
It was one of those, like, that... When I first saw that, I was like, this fucking anime is amazing because I loved this character.
And they're gone.
Yeah,
I agree with you.
And, like... It's one of those. I've always watched a lot of different like, if you want to read a really good manga, it's a better. So like, it came out as an anime, but the anime does not do the manga justice.
Okay.
And I think it's called Grimgar or something like that. Grimoire. I don't know. I'll look it up and I'll actually get the real name for you.
Why are you yelling at me?
I'm excited about it.
Okay.
But that whole story is left turns and right turns, and you don't know what's going to happen to the party.
Cool.
It's another isekai.
Ugh, you lost me.
I know.
No, that's it.
But it's not about... This isekai isn't about the main character. It's about the leftover characters.
I got you.
Right?
Yeah.
So, like, you see, like, in this world, a bunch of people get teleported to a new world. And they all make their own parties. They all do whatever. And they're like, well, we got to start adventuring this world.
I think you told me about this one.
I think I have. And then you get the worst of the worst. The people that nobody else wanted. And they just threw them in a fucking group and said, good luck, motherfuckers.
I think you should drink some water.
I was about to say, I don't have any.
You've been choking for a minute here.
Doesn't matter. Yeah, I don't know what it was, but like a little piece of dust or something went in the back of my throat.
You said Attack on Titan, and God was like, listen.
It really did. He was like, hold on, what are you going to say?
Exactly.
Oh, you're saying good things? You can talk again.
You can talk again. Yeah.
But yeah, in this anime, it's not much of like a spoiler or anything, but
you always say that.
It like happens in like the first few chapters. Like,
so it is a spoiler.
It's like 2 chapters, and then
you've already spoiled some of it, which is everyone's going to die except for this group of weak ass characters.
I didn't say that.
Sure.
I didn't say that anyone lives.
Okay.
I didn't say anything.
You said main characters die and the B-roll characters take over.
No, I said the story isn't about the main characters. It's about the B-roll characters. So the B-roll characters technically are the main characters.
And then you said everyone dies.
Well, they have to suffer.
We're all good.
So, but apparently the manga covers so much more, and like it shows how they're like tortured and how like all this crazy shit happens to them. And it's like a really fucking good read. I might recommend it to Dave just so that me and him can cover it, because I haven't read it. I've only watched it, and for what I have read, because I only read like first few chapters, I'm like, dude, there's so much more information that you get from it. Yeah.
I like how animes have switched that around, like after the 90s.
What?
Like older animes, it used to be all about filler episodes. It used to be all about taking up the time
to put as much
and
detail
stretching it and all the detail. Yeah. But if you read, like a lot of the manga that they're based off of and stuff isn't that detailed. So the animes are just throwing shit in, right?
Right.
Now it's switched. Now it's I'd say after like 2005, now it's all the new stuff. The mangas are filled with everything and the shows are just lacking.
Yeah.
Lacking. Still good shows, lacking. You know what I still haven't watched?
No.
Frieren. Have you watched it?
I have watched.
I keep hearing great things about it.
So I haven't finished it.
Okay.
I was watching it consistently, like week by week, and I got really mad that I was watching it week by week.
Yeah, you're a straight shot kind of guy.
Right. I just love to just sit there, got my popcorn, got whatever I'm eating. I don't give a fuck what it is, and just watch it all the way through.
Yeah.
It just feels so good to do that.
Yeah.
Now, I'm just saying, not everybody has fucking however many
4.5 hours, 5 hours to go through it. Yeah.
Yeah. 5 hours to watch an entire fucking series.
But let me tell you something. If you got 4 hours, Dan to Dan's the way to go.
Dude, Dan on some mushrooms.
On some shrooms.
Oh my god, fire.
We do not condone the use of drugs on the show.
We do not condone the use of drugs.
But god damn it, you should watch it on shrooms.
Dan, you need to be on
something.
Mushrooms, my guy.
Bro.
It is magical.
What a show.
Dude.
What a show.
The shit I was seeing.
Once you get over the hump of the first... Calm down! Once you get over the hump of the first episode, you're good. Not jealous at all. I'm concerned for you.
Oh, wait. Are you talking about...
Yeah, I'm talking about that.
Know. I didn't care about that. Let's move past it.
It's the only thing you talk about.
Because I think it's, like, a very nice take.
Grandma's hot.
Grandma's amazing.
Dude, Grandma's so hot.
Smoking.
Oh, my God.
I just don't like that she only says tangerine for everything.
What?
When she like yells at people, she calls them stupid tangerines and stuff.
I didn't really notice that. I'm distracted.
It's just so
when Grandma's on screen, I ain't looking at shit but her chest.
Yeah, just so that you understand, I would be watching and then I would just hear her say tangerine. I'm like, this bitch.
Oh, you got pulled out?
So glad she has big tits.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But the creator specifically made her that way.
God, I respect him so much.
Yeah.
I look at all grandmas in a different way.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can make this joke yet, but I'd probably look at your grandma a different way.
My grandma? The dead one?
Huh? So anyways, haven't watched all of Frieren.
Yeah. It's a great watch.
Yeah, I've seen like a couple of like anime music video edits.
I will say this.
They look amazing.
The one thing that I didn't like about that anime was that the main character, which is Frieren, whatever.
Frieren. You're getting worse.
Yeah, I know.
Frieren.
All right, moving on.
Shut up. Go ahead.
But she just has this oblivious state to her that she doesn't understand. And like it's her main thing.
Yeah.
She just doesn't understand the natural like order to things.
Yeah.
This bitch has lived for far too fucking long.
2,000 years. Yeah.
To not be like, as comprehensive as she is.
For sure.
Mm-hmm. And it's just one of those like, she makes these friends. She learns that these friends are going to die. Right?
Right.
She thinks that they're going to live as long as her at first. Mm-hmm. And then she comes to realize, no, that's not the case. This person's human. This person dies. This person's human. This person's a fucking what the fuck was he?
Dwarf.
And like she looks at him and he's like, oh, he's gonna live a long time, blah blah blah, right? And like she looks at all of them and all that, but she doesn't think of them. She thinks of them as like if they're her same race, and doesn't have that understanding that these are just normal people who can die at any time, which doesn't make sense. Like she chose not to make a connection with these people
until it was too late.
Right.
It's kind of the beauty of it, though.
But that I get it. That is the beauty of it.
There is a plot hole, which is the time thing. You're right.
Right, but she should have already gotten that.
So, like, I agree with you because I haven't seen anything except for anime edits about it. Yeah. But, like, if I was alive that long and I was watching the world around me, because she has to learn magic. She spent that whole time training in magic.
She trained with, like, a person.
Right.
And that person ends up dying.
Right. So
But it's
she
like-
should be accustomed to death
Right.
and seeing even here's how simple it is, even plant life or
Yeah.
like the planet changing. You know what I mean?
Well, people will argue it sometimes. They'll be like, well, she just sees it as there's no point in getting close with people because they're just going to die.
That's not how she feels though.
Right. That isn't how
Once she
feels.
realizes what's happening, like I've seen the videos of her like crying and like
Yeah.
breaking down and stuff
But it's just like that
and
thought.
realizing how precious life is, you know?
Right. And I'm like, I'm with it because it's just a really cute anime.
Sure. Yeah.
And it's like,
And it's fantasy. We love that.
oh, I love the fantasy style.
Mhm.
And like, I'm a big medieval fantasy like
Of course.
anime style person.
Of course.
If they're holding swords and they're running around with armor and doing whatever the fuck,
And
they
there's
gotta do,
monsters to fight.
there's
I'm
monsters
in.
to fight. I'm in 100%. Even if there's no fucking monsters and they're just fighting each other.
Oh, and magic.
Oh,
I'm in.
yeah.
I'm in.
I love that kind of shit.
Yeah.
You know, there's a new anime that just came out. I don't know the name to it, but apparently this guy dies and he gets reincarnated into another world.
I don't care.
But I know. Fuck off.
It's like the same story every time.
But let me explain this.
Uh-huh.
In this world, nobody knows what magic is yet. And
Oh, I heard about it.
he finds out what, like, how to utilize magic.
Yeah.
And he's the first person to ever do it.
Yeah, I've heard about it. I heard
Right.
it was actually good.
I watched the first episode, and the first episode kind of felt a little like, I don't want to say too easy, but it was like he figured out a solution too fast. You know?
There's another one that I'm reminded of. Maybe you can tell me what it's called. Of the same thing, but I think almost opposite. Where in the modern world, this guy goes into a game world or something, and he unlocks all these magic powers, and then he comes back to the real world and still has his powers, and he goes back and forth between the two. You know what I'm talking about? I think he's an uncle to somebody. Does that remind you of something?
Is that the Netflix show? Is it? I think it's Uncle from Another World.
That's it.
Okay.
It's okay.
It wasn't a video game that he was in, was it?
I don't remember. He
just
like
went to another world.
he
and
goes to another
came
world.
back.
He came back with powers.
Yeah,
And then he can go back.
and he still has his powers.
Yeah.
but he like acts really stupid.
Actually, I
about
think
it.
that's what it's called. My uncle from another world.
Yeah,
Thanks, bud.
yeah. I only seen like 4 episodes of that.
I think I also have only seen 4 episodes, but I
Okay.
kind of remember it was okay.
It was one of those. I was watching it like this happens to me a lot where like I'll start watching it, it's brand new, and I'm like, okay, let me take a first look at it, see if I
Yeah, you give it a
if I'm
try.
interested.
Yeah.
And then if I am interested, I'll keep going. Right. If it's one of those like I don't care, I'll watch it episode by episode. It's not that good for me to want to like pursue it as hard. I'll watch it episode by episode every week, you know. But if it's super fucking good, oh my god, it fucking kills me. Like, have you watched this whole fucking episode is just gonna be us talking about anime, but
It's okay.
have you watched Kaiju number 8?
Not yet.
Okay.
I know.
Dude.
I've heard nothing but the best.
Right.
I heard it's great.
Dude, I watched it episode by episode and I was killing myself. I'm like, dude, how are they gonna end on this episode? Like, something would just happen.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll be like, well, now I need to know what happens. Like every single episode is that.
I forgot to make a comment when you said that earlier, where you were like, I hate watching episode by episode.
Yeah.
I like it. I like the feeling of like anticipating next week. I'm actually a big fan of episode by episode stuff.
Having the patience.
We're so weirdly comparable and opposite at the same time because like I feel like you have so much mental patience for like the real world.
Yeah.
And I have no patience for that kind of shit. Like, for example, what happened at work today with like some attitude stuff.
Yeah.
Because the day before yesterday, you got a lot of attitude and you were completely chill, very calm and professional about it, whatever.
Yes. I just said,
And
okay,
you did your
sounds
job.
good. I don't care.
And I lost my shit in a second.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even that bad. Not even that big of a deal. And I lost my shit. And I like,
And, you know.
but I will wait like a spider on a cobweb for a fly for the next episode of a show I'm watching.
Yeah, okay.
Like the Mandalorian, you know what I mean? Like I religiously waited. Also, I'm a big fan because you know my memory's kind of shit. I'll forget what day a show comes out, and then it'll be like the next day, and I'll be like, "Oh, there's a new episode of Skeleton Crew out that just came out." You know what I mean?
I don't.
You hate that?
I don't forget what day they come out.
Yeah, I forget all the time.
Like, I'm watching a few different animes, and I know their time schedules and like when they get released.
Damn.
You know, and I'm like, oh, I'm waiting for it. Like, if I like it, I'll memorize it.
For sure.
You know?
Yeah.
And I'll be like, oh, dude, every Thursday it comes out.
You've seen so much. I bet it's hard for you to get hooked on something.
I guess so.
Like, to find something super enjoyable is what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, there's certain mangas that I'm reading right now that I read weekly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can't wait.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to read the next chapter, even when it's boring as shit.
Yeah.
Right? But then I read these other mangas, and I'll read them all the way up until like their like end point, and I know I got to start waiting weekly to read them, and I'll just be like, all right, I'm not gonna look at it for the next 4 months.
Yeah, just forget about it and come back.
Yeah,
I gotcha.
I do that for a lot of them.
I think it just has to pique your interest.
Yeah,
yeah.
It has to be something that I'm willing to like stay with. But that's like for manga. For anime, it's just so easy to like forget that it's only one episode.
For sure.
You know, it's like I'll go in there. So like I'll say this: I just watched the 4th season to Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon? And because I never watched the 4th season,
okay.
I watched up to the 3rd one and I just stopped for no reason.
What the fuck is this title?
Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon?
Yeah, what the hell?
You'd probably like it.
I'm in.
It's that.
Suck me in, brother.
Okay, so
give me the premise.
It's about
an adventurer.
It's about like adventuring style where they go into like a dungeon, and they dungeon crawl.
Yeah.
Right. The main character is his name is Belcranel.
Okay.
You find out more about it, but in this world there are gods who oversee the world, right? And they've gotten so bored of just watching that they wanted to be a part of the world. So what they would do is they would relinquish a portion of their powers, and they could go into the real world and live as a human. But obviously they're a god. They'll never die.
This is very Greek goddish.
100%.
Yeah.
And that's more of... Because like the main goddess that the main character is, it's the goddess Hestia.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah. Is it literally what it's about?
Well, yeah, that's his goddess.
I gotcha.
And there's like families or familias, how they say it. But there's different families and different branches and stuff, you know? And like there's like the Hephaestus crew and like a bunch of other ones. I'm not going to name off every single fucking god.
Yeah.
But long story short, all the gods give a portion of their power so that this dungeon can essentially like, you know, be their game. And they have everybody go to like beat the dungeon. The main character is this like normal dude, sort of. You haven't seen it, but if you do watch it, I think you'd enjoy it. Like I'm willing to watch the first couple episodes with you just because I liked it. But what ends up happening is this is like literally first episode shit. The main character gets a special ability. And it's the ability to pursue his goal, which sounds stupid.
Yeah,
but like
sounds like clairvoyance.
It's worded better in the anime, but it's whatever you believe in at the moment. It can happen for you. So like, I'm probably scuffing it, but it's still on. The belief that he has is that he wants to get stronger.
Okay.
Right. So his belief is that, you know, he will level up faster than other people. He will gain more experience or whatever quicker than anyone else. So like his special skill is that he has a ×2 buff for XP.
Okay.
Right? So he's only been fucking adventuring for a year and he like levels up fast as shit. Where I'm at right now, it's his 4th season, he's level 4. I was watching it and I literally ran it down so fast that I started watching the 5th season. And the 5th season only has like 3 episodes out. Right? And I was like, damn, I wonder what's gonna happen next, because it just got way too fucking good.
Oh, I gotcha.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, it went from like being casual, like whatever, this is goofy talk, stupid shit's happening, to holy fuck, his whole fucking family just got fucking wiped off the map.
Nice.
What the fuck is going on? That didn't actually happen, but you know, whatever. But it's a really good story. It's very like feel good, just chill watch.
Feel good.
You know, like it's not meant to be like too hardy, but it has extreme hardy parts. That didn't come out right. It has like
that's what she said.
Yeah. It has like extremely good action parts that keep you entertained.
Okay.
You know?
Cool.
Because like all the fighting is really good until like, you know, dumb shit just happens.
Sure.
You know? But, you know, I would recommend it for somebody who wants to watch it. The only problem is it's on fucking High Dive.
Oh.
And like, there's nothing wrong with High Dive. It's just Crunchyroll has taken over the world.
Yeah.
High Dive needs to get,
as it finally should have.
High Dive needs to just get bought out.
Okay,
know?
I gotcha.
It's at that point where like
buy it out.
Everyone who's competing against fucking Crunchyroll just needs to jump on the money.
Remember when Crunchyroll was not a thing?
Dude, I remember when Crunchyroll
back in those days
literally sucked ass.
Yeah.
Like, all it had was like a handful of fucking anime that wasn't even worth watching.
And
you
then,
know, like they had Dragon Ball, but I never thought of Dragon Ball as like worth anything. And like they had like the basic stuff.
I just love how much things have changed about it.
Oh yeah, know? It's become so good.
It's the #1 anime streaming.
The moment they bought out Funimations,
yeah,
that was
it.
It became top tier for me because Funimations was my go-to, and then I had to go to all these other fucking things and like
Funimation
Entertainment, all this other shit.
Viz Media.
Yeah.
Party people, we're going to close it there. Thanks so much for listening. We really appreciate it. This has been Unapologetic Voices with Thomas Tripp and Kyle Elio Torres. And don't forget our little companion who sits in the corner, Houdini. Oh yeah, that's the #1 right there. Thanks so much for listening. Please leave a comment or a possible donation or a I don't know, some sort of slur at unapologeticvoices1@gmail.com. You can also comment directly on the Spotify. We are also on other forms of media such as Apple Podcasts and YouTube. Tune into that. Thanks so much for listening. Look forward to more content and see you on the next one.